What's going on, everybody? My name is Andre. I'm with St. Louis We Buy Homes. You can check us out at stlouiswebuyhomes.com. We buy houses, St. Louis fast cash home buyers. No hassles whatsoever. Make sure that you thumbs up this video. I really appreciate when you guys do that. Thumbs up the video. Also, share this video. Share this video because there's people like you that may need help, that may need to sell their home, thinking about selling their home fast and selling it for cash. And, we really appreciate when you do that. That gives us exposure for our service. So we really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, the red button, the red subscribe button. Do that and turn your notifications on. You'll see the bell icon right there. So make sure you turn your notifications on. Okay, we buy houses in St. Louis, fast cash home buyers, no hassles. For those of you that don't know exactly what we do, we market for motivated sellers. Now, I'll tell you the difference between a motivated seller and a regular seller of a home. I'll give you a regular seller. A regular seller may have just had a new addition to the family. Maybe already have another kid or two, and before you know it, the home has gotten small. The home has mysteriously gotten small, and they want to move, and they need to move, and they have the money to move, and they need to list it with a realtor. So those are the people that we're not, that's not our avatar, so to speak. So that's not our ideal customer, is somebody that want to sell their house just because, their home is gotten small and, they're looking for another house. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for motivated sellers. And I'll give you an example of a motivated seller. Motivated seller could be somebody as simple as maybe a senior that's transitioning to an assisted living situation, and they want to sell their house. They're not going to be living there anymore, and they need to sell a house, and they need to sell it fast. Now, the problem that happens when, a person like that in that situation, of course, they're going to be thinking of a realtor, but that realtor is going to tell them they need to update it. And if that house isn't updated, if that house doesn't have the latest kitchen, the latest bathroom, just the latest, all this new funky technological stuff, all this new technology. I know I screwed that word up, but that's okay. All this new technology. If it doesn't have all this new technology, then they're going to tell them, hey, the home is nice, but, you need to update it. You need a new this. You need a new that. Because you look at that roof, you need a new roof. The air conditioner's been there forever. You're going to need new air conditioning. This one's about to go out. Just all of that stuff. And that's what realtors do. And that's not any fault to any real estate agent whatsoever. It has nothing to do with the real estate agent. It has everything to do with the market. And when you place your home on the market, a retail buyer is going to purchase it, and that's what they want. They want all these new things. You've seen people, just look around. What do people do all the time? You ever just people watch? They always have this little thing in their hand, right? Doing this. And so all this new technology, and people want it in their homes too. It's not just on their mobile device or their desktop computer. They have this stuff in homes now. They have all these different Wi-Fi things, from the refrigerator to the stove to the microwave, and then they have all these different home automation things where the lights can cut off. You don't even have to be in town. You can press it from your phone. The lights can cut off. All these homes have these new, these new camera setups. So, that's no fault of a real estate agent. That has everything to do with the market, and that agent is going to want a person to update the home. And so what happens, that's extra money that a person may or may not have. So if it's a person that's in an assisted living situation, they're moving on to another stage of their life. They don't want to spend that money. to update their house. They just don't want to spend that money. Maybe they have the money and they just don't want to spend it, or whatever the case may be. And they just don't want to spend it. So, we provide a service where we buy houses in the St. Louis, Missouri area for fast cash, and we look for motivated sellers. We look for people that are motivated to sell their house, that need to sell their house. People that, I don't know, maybe inherited a home. When a person inherits a home, they have all these different things. Some of them may have a home of their own and they just they don't like the idea of being a landlord. It's not for everybody. They don't like the idea of trying to, maybe they held on to it a little too long and maybe had an idea of putting money into it and fixing it, but just hadn't gotten around to it. That happens. So we look for customers, or clients rather, like that. Look for clients that need to sell their house in situations like that. People lose their jobs all the time. People lose their jobs, and, we look for people that in a situation of job loss. So it's a financial situation, and they may have a property that they need to sell. They just can't afford it any longer, and they need to sell it, and they need to sell it fast. And that's what we do at stlouiswebuyhomes.com. We look for people that need to sell their house. Another situation, another scenario, job relocations. Jobs relocate all the time, especially in an area like this in the St. Louis, Missouri area, because we have so many corporate headquarters of companies and everything. So we have companies such as Monsanto. We have companies such as Boeing and publicly traded companies, Ameren. Just all these places where they have facilities in other cities. And what if your boss came in there to you and said, hey, you have X amount of days to move, and you're like, huh? And just threw your curveball, and you have to move in 90 days, in 60 days, whatever the time frame may be. You just have to move, and you have to sell that house. That house has to go. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in a situation where you still have a home. First of all, you may not want to be a landlord, but you still have a home, and the last thing you want to do is for somebody to maybe vandalize the home while you're no longer living there. Just any of that stuff that's going to continue to just cost you money over time. And, you just decided you just need to sell it. So, those type of situations happen. They happen. And, we make these videos to let homeowners in the St. Louis area know that, we buy these houses, and we buy these houses in all type of conditions. We pay cash for them. We can close quickly on these homes. And the thing that's great, there's no hassles. We're not going to hassle you about anything. There's nothing to hassle you about. We're not going to, you're not obligated to anything as well. We pay closing costs. We pay full closing costs. So this is not a situation where we make these videos and then, once you go through the so-called process, we're going to tell you, where you got to pay this amount of money and blah, blah, blah. None of that. You don't pay anything. We buy cash. We buy with cash. And, we deal with some great title companies in the process. So, the title companies that we use are great. So the only people that are in this situation is a seller, which is yourself, the buyer, which is us, the title company. They pretty much do all the work. They do all the work. So, they kind of ensure that there's no hassles. We make sure on our end there's no hassles as well. And, just could be a great situation for you by selling your house and selling it quickly. If you heard that bad news from an agent that, just told you need to update it and you need to do all of this stuff. And, maybe you're just watching this video and, you just need to sell a house fast. You need to sell a house and you just need the cash. You no longer want it. You probably don't even live in the St. Louis, Missouri area. And you have property in this area and you just don't. Maybe you were a landlord or something. You just don't want to anymore. You just don't want to deal with the tenants you had. You just, just all these situations occur. Life happens. I always tell people that. So St. Louis, we buy homes. You can check us out at stlouiswebuyhomes.com. Look down in the description and you will see the links to the website, the links to our Facebook, the links to our Twitter. Make sure you follow us on social media. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Thanks for watching this video. And of course, we will see you in the next video. Thank you.